This is one of the new maps in my game, Fever Dream. And a few months ago, I put the game on quest for everybody to try. But ever since then, I've been working on doubling the amount of content in my game, taking everything you've seen from me in the past and pushing it to the next level. But that's not the only thing I've done. At the end of this video, after I go through the 3 new maps and 5 new monsters, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to be part of the game. So make sure to stay tuned. Anyway, we had to make an entirely new floor. If I want to do this the right way, it has to be something new and completely unique. And that's when it hit me. And then I got an idea. In every level so far, you have a flashlight that guides you. So what if I took it away? This is my Nebula Map. Long corridors of nothing but darkness, stars, and more stars. And without a flashlight, it's gonna be impossible to navigate. Or so you'd think. You see, I gave you a little bit of an indicator. You see these stars on the wall? It just so happens that they get bluer the closer you are to the arcade. Sounds pretty simple, right? Wrong! Because there's a whole bunch of dead ends in this labyrinth. But don't worry about it. Because I am here! And I've given you a route to escape. You see these holes with different shapes in them? These are secret tunnels that will allow you to escape to a different part of the map. So if you're getting chased by something mysteriously scary, just run through one of these and maybe you'll see the light of day again. Every new map needs a new good antagonist. Furthermore, for the Nebula map, I want the special thing to be the monster. A lot of you guys thought my first monster, PB&J, wasn't that scary. Well, how about you? Well, I kind of understand that because you can always see where he's going. So now I'm gonna make a monster that you can't see where it's going. Introducing Costic. This monster is pitch black, which means you have to use the environments to see where it is. Not only that, but he'll teleport around the map. The only indication of where he went being a scary sound. So you better stay clear of his path, or else he's gonna hurt you, and it's gonna feel like But before that happens, you better not look too closely, because before he gets you, his face will open up and swallow you whole. Oh, what? Did you think you could just pinch climb and stay in this little corner? Well, too bad, because the second you do, some gas will come out and shoot you down. Wow, that was a crazy monster jump scare. And I also have more to show you.
I'm dead! You've killed me!
Right after some base game stuff needs to be changed, right here on Turbolodian. Right now, the whole gameplay loop is you basically run around and find things and touch them. But I think this can be improved upon. Firstly, when you touch things in real life, they don't just disappear and play a sound. You have to literally physically pick them up. So I developed an entire hands physics system to make it so you can pick things up and also put them back down again. And when you put these items down, you better put them inside the Pardonator, a metallic cube, which sucks up anything you stick inside of it and will spit out whatever it was designed to spit out. I'm happy. I'm happy.
I love doing this. I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
This actually makes the game quite a bit harder because before you could just run around and touch things and be done. But now you have to make multiple trips. But don't worry, the machine now keeps track of how many you got in each level. The downside of this is that other people can't see when you have an item. And the only way to change this would mean that they spawned globally for everybody, which I'm not entirely against. So if you think this is a good idea, comment, wow, what a chug-tastic idea. And if you think it's a horrible idea, comment,
how intriguing. However, I'm going to have to
Decline.
Now our next map has to have something special too, and thus I present this query. Are you tired of the same old maps from other games? Do you want something a little bit more new and oftentimes confusing? Me too! All of the maps in Floor 1 consist of basically 1 or 2 unique areas. But for this next map, it's gonna have 8 different unique areas. So I got to work designing the whole thing in Blender. And you know what they say about Blender. One man's blend is another man's They. And thus, Funhouse was born. This is by far the most complicated map in the game. It also took me the longest. But the one that was really difficult was this circus tent area. There was a lot of Blender trickery that went along with these. So I hope you guys think it's worth it. And now let me take you on a full tour.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Norman S. Real, and welcome back to Real Crazy Listings. And do we have a special episode for you? Step inside this domicile and experience something you've never seen before, heard before, or smelled before. A wonderful and delicate entrance room. I love the tiled decor, and it's all topped off with a homey coat of infinity black. But this next room is simply magnificent. Who would have thought to put a forest inside their house? And for after those tedious Mondays, this padded room will keep you in solitary bliss. Or throw your crazy wife in here for those times when dinner is gold. Get your steps in with the twisted hallway. Up next, the craziest of all the rooms. Welcome to the wagon wheel. Run in a circle around and around. That is until you find the exit through the hall of twisted doorways. There you'll find something worth the trouble. A labyrinth of staircases, ramps, and maybe some secret tunnels. But that's for me to know and for you to find out next time on Real Crazy Listings.
I really want to see some monsters in this area. Not only that, but I want to see 3 of them in here. But so far, I feel like I've just been gerrymandering around all the real core problems. I know what you really want. You see, when Floor 1 first came out, there were a ton of things that weren't necessarily bugs, but needed to be improved upon. And so for the past couple months, I've been listening, smelling, and hearing you. Most of the time without you even knowing it. So I think it's time that I take some of your suggestions. Better mall geometry, better light mapping, better monster AI, better arcade music, arcade visual upgrade. Now it's time for some real change. Overhauled upgrades, brand new cosmetic system done from scratch, fur material changes, better finger mechanics, more accurate reverb, swimming mechanics, water fog, floor 1 lighting overhaul, and finally, overhauled lobby behavior. All of these base game changes have made me realize that I kind of want to overhaul floor 1 entirely.
So if you like that, make sure to like this video, and if we get 15,000 likes, I'll do it.
Have you ever put butter on a
Anyway, the Funhouse map is huge, and one monster would definitely not cut it.
But alas, we don't even have a concept yet. And if I don't get to thinking, I'm gonna be forced to walk the blank.
I remembered back to what initially inspired me to make these maps, and it was these 3 symbols. When coming up with a floor, I have a massive catalog of level ideas that I pull from. The ones I use generally have some sort of pattern or concept that ties them together. For floor 2, it was to make 3 levels that fit these symbols. Thus far, we have the moon, and now the star. Since the levels would be formatted after these, I thought, you know what? Maybe the monsters could be 2. And with that, I got to work. I wanted them to be humanoid-ish, but there needed to be something inhuman about them besides their form. And eventually, I decided on 2 things. A, you're not allowed to see their faces. And B, while roughly human, their shapes will be distorted, at least a little bit. So I got to work opening a can, but not just any can, a can of sculpting. So I sculpted this human shape, and I'm kinda lazy. So then I algorithmically retopologized it. Sue me, you stupid Blender nerds. Then I grabbed his fingers and pulled. After that, I got to work on making these masks, and I made them super scary, each one representing one of the 3 symbols I mentioned earlier. And that's when I started animating them. But I'm not just gonna give them a regular walk. In order to make it even scarier, I bent their spines backwards. It made them walk slowly towards you.
Mamma mia!
Then I placed all 3 of them in different parts of the map. They each patrol their own little section, and their masks correlate which section that is. But there's a teensy-weensy little problem. Right now, there's literally nothing to do in these maps and no way to move on. So it looks like we gotta make some items.
Little hog on the track.
We got the milk, we got the flour, we got vanilla, we got the powder, we got the butter. I'm back for another. All we need is eggs, no, I didn't stutter. Time to bake a cake, time to bake a cake, time to bake a cake, build a big giant cake. Time to build a cake, time to make a big cake. Stomach parasites that make your mother's stomach ache.
Before we get to the 3rd level, I just talked about redoing the mall, but that wasn't the only thing that needed a replacement. You see, it's my plan that every major update, we get an entirely new temporary store. That's what temporary means. So not just the cosmetics changing, but literally the entire store. Last time I had the launch bundle, but because I knew this update was gonna take forever, I wanted to really up the quality on these. So I made these spooky, scary, extra scary cosmetics. Right now, these are the best cosmetics in the game. And for each bundle now, if you buy them, you get a certain amount of wacky bucks too. That's right. That's what WB stood for this entire time. So it sounds like you should pretty much buy this. Because once it's gone, there's no guarantee it's ever coming back. When Floor 1 came out, there was a ton of people who made a lot of fan art for the game. And I really wanted to showcase it in a way that fit in the game and got the attention that the pieces deserve. So I took some of them that fit the aesthetic and put them in the antique store. This was actually something that added a whole lot to this room. And I think I'm gonna do something else like it in the future. Pretty cool. Last video I explained that I want the last level on every floor to be the craziest. And for this floor, yikes. So it looks like I have no choice but to consult the orb. After fondling the orb, I realized something. It's always been my long-time dream to be a little hamster. I love running around in little hamster tunnels. I told my kindergarten teacher that and she didn't appreciate it, so she gave me an F. And that's when I got a negatively evil idea. What if I made the map a series of tunnels? That way I could roleplay as a little hamster.
And now, so can you!
So if you thought these other two maps were labyrinths, you better pull up your trousers, because this one's really confusing.
Introducing!
Tubes.
You ever been to McDonald's? It's kind of like that, but distinctively different enough so that they can't sue me. So far, this has been the most difficult map I've ever made. And one time I made a map where this blue stripe had to go all the way around every wall. So you best believe that I'm making the monster next level. But we have a big problem right now because taking all of these items one by one is kind of annoying. So we need to develop a system that lets you take more than 2 items. Because nobody wants to do that. That shouldn't be too hard, right? We just need to take the... Please make it stop! Make it stop.
Why did I do this? I don't know why. It's only gonna take like 4 months to make.
Especially all these.
Finally done. Now you have little paper This is a little paper bag that you can put on your back. Whenever you find an item, put it in here, and you'll see a little icon show up. Isn't that fantastic? Now these actually have some special mechanics. I'm gonna explain them now. For each bag, you can put it on your back. If you wanna put something in the bag, don't worry about pulling it off your back. Instead, just drop the item behind your shoulder. And if you hear a popping sound, that means it made it into the bag. Well, what if you wanna pull an item out? Usually in other games, you'd have to pull the whole bag out and then dump it out. But in this one, I made it significantly easier. Just press the grip button behind your back and it will pull out whatever you put in last. And if you really do want to grab the whole bag, stick your hand behind your back and press trigger instead. Pressing trigger while you're holding a bag in your hand will also spit out the last item as well. So basically now for each item, you can grab it and stick it behind your back, or pull the whole bag out and scoop it in. Wow, that's so neat! Also, I used this whole gripping framework to make a hammer that you can hit other people with. It goes ding, and then it flings them. So now you can hit people you don't like.
Die! Die, you are always watching me! Die!
And now we can make the monster. At first, I wanted to make something that would crawl around in these tunnels. But then again, I realized that every single monster in floor 2 so far has been humanoid. If I was to make a third one humanoid, it'd be kind of repetitive. So we need something the least humanoid I could possibly make it. And please tell me something less humanoid than insects. That's right, I want a big giant bug running around, chasing you, and also eating out your eyeballs. So I got to work, making a big giant caterpillar. At first, I tried to make it have segments like the spine guy, but that ended up not working out so well. So I reopened my blender and sculpted its whole body in one shape. And since these are tunnels small enough to fit your average scary baboon player, I can make him just large enough to stop you from going the direction he's in. This is all great, but at the end of the day, this would just be a giant caterpillar. That's not scary. But what if I were to paint each segment of the caterpillar different colors? That would be pretty scary.
And that's exactly what I did!
Introducing the famished arthropod. A giant caterpillar that crawls through the tubes, just ever so slightly slower than you. The only thing giving it away is the sound of it slithering through each tunnel. As it flops its way towards you, you better be looking for all 5 ingredients quickly, because he might be right behind you. But before we finish this monster and level, we got one more thing to address. After floor 1 released, I realized pretty quickly that the community for this game was really strong. There's literally only one floor, and only a few days ago, this guy made a PB&J and crucified it for some reason. I wanted a way to recognize people who are strong pillars of the community, and so I made the Ambassador program. You see, most other games only recognize creators, but oftentimes they leave everyone else behind. So I wanted to create something completely unique, which is a badge for pillars of the community to enjoy.
Wow, so stylish.
This includes creators, artists, musicians, and all sorts of other things. So from now on, I'll be paying attention to the bold, the helpful, and the creative
To present them with the Ambassador emblem.
and introduce them into the program. And you can join it. Full disclosure, I haven't even begun to pick people yet, so right now, literally nobody has this badge. But now there's one last thing that we need to do to the monster. Yeah, I just needed to add the jump scare. And now this level's done. Well, it looks like we're out of time. To the people who've been waiting patiently since floor 1 came out, I give you the biggest thanks. At the end of the day, I really just want to create something that people want to be a part of. And without you, this game would never be possible. Enjoy floor 2, and I hope you liked the video.
Plug.